Hey everyone, it's Lisa Shore from Shore Success, and I am back with another success tip of the week. This week, I want to talk to you about becoming a polished panelist. A polished panelist. So I have been watching several webinars and different seminars lately, and I have noticed some variations of different panelists. Some of them are very impactful, and some of them you wonder, what are they doing on the stage? I want to talk to you today about the most important piece of being a panelist, and that is adding value. You are invited to be a panelist to add value to the discussion. The organizer views you as a subject matter expert, someone who's influential in your industry. So it's your job now to build your credibility and build your personal brand by adding value. Now you might be saying, well, what do you mean, Lisa? How can I add value? I'm going to share with you an acronym for the word value. So write down V.A.L.U.E. Let's get started. V for a panelist is to have a great voice. To have a voice that, first of all, people can hear, right? Depending if you're doing a remote or if you're on a stage, you've got to make sure you project your voice so that others hear you. Now, you also want to make sure in your voice you have confidence. You certainly don't sound condescending or annoyed at maybe your other panelists. So you really have to think about varying your voice to different conversations, different subjects. Think about the voice that I am using as I'm delivering this video. My pitch is a little bit higher. I'm excited in my voice. When you're on the stage, depending on the subject you're talking about, you also want to make sure that your voice is engaged and sounds engaging. Now, A for value is your appearance. It's so important that your appearance is not a distraction from your message. That means starting with grooming and combing your hair, trimming those beards, maybe putting on some makeup or some foundation or powder so you're not really shiny. Sort of like getting camera ready if you're doing remote, but also when you're getting on the stage, you want to take that into consideration. You want to take into consideration as part of your appearance, what are you wearing? What industry are you presenting to? A more conservative industry, financial, banking, accounting, you may want to put on that sport coat. Or ladies, a jacket. Something with a collar always has more authority. Depending on the different types of audiences you have, maybe you want to wear your logoed shirt. If you have a shirt for your company or your business that has your logo, you might want to wear that. So really think about, well, what's the dress code, the basic dress code of the organization, and how do I want to be perceived by others? So have your clothing and appearance align with that. Now, L is listen to the question. Too often, a panelist veers off into a different direction than what the moderator actually asks. Be mindful of the question. Feel free to ask a qualifying question if you don't understand. That's totally cool. But show that you're listening to the moderator. Maybe there's an audience question that you have to listen to, and you want to make sure you're answering it to the best of your ability. so that when you walk off that stage, your audience and your fellow panelists will say, that was a great, relevant discussion. We added so much value. So that's L. U. I want you to take the time to understand, U for understand, the topics ahead of time. So this week I am working with a client, preparing him for a panel discussion with a group of other technology professionals. A really important aspect of this is to ask the moderator so that you can develop an understanding of the theme of the discussion. Maybe you're part of an event. What's the theme of the event? And asking ahead of time, hey, can you shoot me some questions that you plan to ask from the stage? This is not a time to really, think from the hip. That's when we do a lot of verbal pauses and fillers and we say, or maybe we don't have a chance to say what we really wanted to say because A, we didn't understand the question ahead of time, or B, we just weren't prepared. So U is understand, do your homework, do your research, have a good sense before you get on that stage of what the questions will be and how you want to answer them. Now E is engage. The key for a panelist is to be a part of a discussion with your other panelists, as well as a discussion with the moderator and a discussion with your audience. So there's a variety of discussions that are going on actually at one time. And so we want to say things like, Sue, I really like how you mentioned that. And I agree with that. And I have found this. Or I love, Jim, how you mentioned that topic. Because we don't talk about that often enough. And I love that we had this discussion. Thank you for bringing that up. So you're bringing in your fellow panelists. You're acknowledging what they're saying, you're engaging, you're showing that not only are you engaging in discussion, but it's a nice way of validating. Next time you get invited to be a panelist, use my V.A.L.U.E method to prepare so that you command attention on the stage and not demand it. If you need help or have any questions, message me, visit shoresuccess.com. My calendar link is right on the homepage of my website. Happy presenting.